Hello, hello. Good morning. Let's get going. Good morning. Come on in. Are we live? Good morning. Come on in. Grab a seat. Bring your tea. We're still in the Netherlands. We're still in Holland. Welcome to the party. Come on in. I know you're there. Loads of seats, loads of space. Apparently we can even move the seats a little bit closer. It's all right, there's plenty of space. Oh, Barbara. Come on in, good morning. It's good to have your company in the SHAC. Always good to be early as well, I think. I start this game about 9 o'clock, checking the cameras, making sure that everything's right. So I know what I'm doing. Well, you would too, wouldn't you? Really, come on. You would, wouldn't you? Somebody the other day asked what the door is behind me, whether it was the toilet. No, it's not a toilet. Do you want to see? I'll show you. Right, ready? Come and have a look. Okay, it's not a bedroom either. I'm not Churchill. I do go out in the house occasionally. It's an art room. It's just a storeroom for all my stash. See? All my pastes and gels and paints. There's a sink in here. All right, Dave? Not really. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just a cupboard for all my paints and bits and canvases. Otherwise, this would look even more cosy than it does. It's good though, isn't it? Dave built that for me. There you go. That's what that is. And that's a T-square. So there you go, before everyone gets here. Little peek behind the scenes. No, I'm not sitting outside the toilet door. I've spent plenty of time. When you do the exhibitions, like the NEC or Harrogate was a good one. I always was by the toilet. I was always outside the ladies' loo at Harrogate. Because you know that everybody's going to go to the loo at some point. It's not a bad place to be when you're at an exhibition. It's, you know, if you're looking at the floor plan, you do. If you're bright and you know how it works, you either go round the outside near the toilets. There you go, best place, or front door, because then you catch them on the way in, you catch them on the way out, or you catch them to the loo. Those are your best options. If you're ever doing a craft fair, just remember that. Front door or toilets, okay? And peripheral is always good. People will remember the outside. And in England, now all my secrets coming out. I've still got time yet. It's not 10 o'clock yet. In England, people walk. When they walk into a building, they go clockwise. They tend to go clockwise. I think that's right. Or do they go anti-clockwise? Let me just think. When you walk in, most people, they walk in and they go right. They do. They go right, as if you're going, yeah? So actually they go anti-clockwise. They do. That's the right. So it's a good thing to remember, people, if you're at that end of the building, it's going to take a while for people to filter through because they go anti-clockwise. I remember being at Hever Castle once, and of course, 6 Wives of Henry VIII, you know, Hever Castle. And there's a room in Hever Castle, because we're only about 5 minutes from Hever here. Oh no, we're only about 5 minutes from Hever when we're at work. Sorry, not at work. Anyway, so at Hever Castle, there's a room with the 6 Wives of Henry VIII, right, the pictures of. And as we walked round, I thought, we got to the second one, you know, because you know, don't you, Anne Boleyn was definitely the second one. When we got to the second one, I thought, hang on a minute, this is the wrong way round. Now, because Hever Castle is owned by Americans, they put it round the wrong way, because obviously in America it must go clockwise. So all us daft Brits were all going the wrong way round, and we were looking, and so the second wife was the fifth wife, if you see what I mean. All very confusing. But it's good to know that when you're at a show, if you're English, you tend to go that way. You go anti-clockwise. And if in America, you go clockwise. There you go. I wonder what you're doing. What does one do in the country that you're in? That would be interesting. All the Germans and the French and the Dutch. Have a think. Which way round do people walk in an exhibition? Hmm? Anyway, it must be 10 o'clock by now. Come on, welcome to the SHAC. It's 10 o'clock. Hello there. Come on in, it's good to have your company. SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. And today it's Thursday and it's the 11th or something. It's really, June is really flying, isn't it? It's very overcast, quite cold. Not really June weather as I sort of have it in my mind's eye, but everything's changed, hasn't it? Even the weather. How are you doing? How are you? Come on in. How'd you get on with your tulips? We're still in the Netherlands, we're in Holland, and today I thought we'd have a little look. I got my little houses out. Do you like? I thought we'd have a look at the houses. Have you got your tea? Are you ready to rock and roll? Look at these glorious peonies, look. Aren't they beautiful? The layers and layers and layers are astounding, aren't they, when they come out? Gorgeous. So I put them outside in the cold at night and then they tighten up. And then I bring them in the morning, they open up again. Cool. Right, and tulips. Yeah, copper. If you put a copper in the vase, that helps too. You know, we were trying to prolong tulips, and Paul said that stabbing it in the neck. You know, I said put a pin through the top of the neck to stop it wilting. I'm talking about tulips here, people, right? Paul said he knew that too. So interesting. So 2 peep in the bottom of the vase. That's me nan. She told me that, and then stab the stem just below the head of the tulip if it starts to wilt, and then it should ping back to life. I sure would if you stabbed me in the neck. Right, are we there? Happy days. So I thought, let's have a go. Steve Ellen's in the building with you, so if you have any questions, then please direct them at Steve. He's there to help you and keep an eye on things and make sure everybody is happy. And we're going to have a look at, I did a little bit of doodling because this week's the doodle week, isn't it? Just in case you're just surfing the net and thinking, what are they on? Right? This is the SHAC, and what we do here is 1 week we colour in and 1 week we doodle. And some people prefer one and some people prefer the other and some people like both of them equally. And so this week we're in the Netherlands, in Holland, and we's a doodling. So let's have a look. I had a little play because I thought this would be really cool. You know, yesterday I said we'll split it. So we'll do like country scene, town scene. Although having said that, I know that I've seen windmills bang in the middle of Leiden, so they put them in the middle of the town as well, right? So we did the tulips. We've got some lovely discs and buttons, which we can use. You don't have to do them all exactly. You can make little clusters of them, can't you? Dave was saying this morning, maybe we ought to make a set of stamps just with beautiful discs, just something lovely, you know? Well, I think we're going to make a stamp with the windmill anyway. I definitely think we're going to make a stamp with the windmill and the houses. Yeah, I think so. But so today we've done the tulips, and you could possibly even put the tulips down through the back of the frame. But you know, and we haven't got any clogs yet either. Although I think clogs might spoil it. I may just put a pair of little clogs on the step or something there. So that's what we're headed on today. But what I'd said was, I thought that this might be a good idea today. If we do some inking, we do the inking, then we'll do the houses. So that way we've got a little bit of downtime, haven't we? Because when we do the inking, we know, don't we? It's chill. And then when we get to do the drawing, then it's, oh, here we go. Batten down the rigging. We need a ruler and a pencil. Definitely want a ruler for this one. But it's pretty. Look, I'll show you up close. I think it's really nice. Check out. Look. Oh, hang on. Doesn't that look lovely? Yeah? I like a lot. I like that style, don't you? Get it in North Germany, in Hamburg, Hansestadt. Get it in Hamburg. But very, very... You see these sort of houses in England as well. But definitely Amsterdam, Leiden, the Dutch, isn't it? I think the tops of the houses, they give it away, don't they? I like a lot. And I thought, because when we were in Leiden last time, there was a really nice, there were loads of beautiful shops. Leiden, if you like shopping, once you can get back out there, what a town for shopping, girls. I mean, just beautiful boutiques, one after the other, after the other, after the other, but really lovely, reasonably priced stuff. Leiden is definitely a destination place. And so there was this really nice gift shop, and I want to show you. Look, I've got my little. Let me just put this away, and then we can have a look at these, because these are actually, I thought, perfect. They're like little candle. Look, see, you put a little candle in. Because for our doodle, it's all about the shape, isn't it? It's all about the shape. Okay, so I was looking at these and I thought, there you go. What do you think? Put that one in the middle. See? See, first of all, I had that one there. I had that one there, like that. And then I thought, no, I think I want the chimney on the outside. So then I put the chimney on the outside like that. And then I thought, well, this is actually now I wish I'd put it on the outside, but for some reason I decided it wanted to go in the middle. See, but what's lovely is we can decide. You can decide. You don't have to do what I did. You can pick. You can do what you like. You could put a chimney on that one. You could put that one on that one. You do 3 of the same thing. Yeah? But it's a really nice starting place, isn't it? I think these are lovely. And they're beautiful because they're just plain white. When you light them up, and the lights, you know, obviously they shine through the windows, but it just looks so pretty. It's not just a Christmas thing. I've got it in the porch. So what I thought we'd do is ink up. Right, you ready? You need your pens for this one, because we've inked our windmill, haven't we? We've inked our windmill, and I thought we'd do let's do our rope, buttons, tulips, this bit. Let's do that, shall we? I'm so impressed with your work that you've posted on Facebook. But you know, I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's not a competition. Nobody's judging you. There are no experts in this building. Certainly not in this building here. Right, so we need a pen. So we've got a number 1 or a 005. Which one do I think? I think for the tulips, I'm going to use the number 1. And then maybe for the real delicate stuff, I'll use the number 5. And I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to work my way down, only because that way I'm not leaning. It's a leaning thing. So I'm going to start in the top corner with and I'll tell you what I'll do, just so that you can see it better. Let me just come in with up on the little ledge. Let me come in a bit closer. Is that too close or is that all right? That's all right, isn't it? Hang on, I'm caught in the flowers. How are you doing? All right, you keeping up? Keeping up okay? I don't want to go too fast, but I don't want to go too slow either, because I want to get to the houses. Right, 005, and I'm going to start up here. Are you ready to do some inking with me? Let me see if this is a better. Let's have a look. Hang on a minute. Cool, it is a bit of a burn of the bolt, this, isn't it? Right, I reckon that probably works well, doesn't it? Or that one. Let's have a look. That one. Okay. Back to this one. And excuse the head, eh? If the head gets in the way, just shout. Right. Come on. Let's get started. We'll do this first. What's she on? 005. 005. Right. Here we go. Are you ready? And off we go. Takes a little while to get your eye in, doesn't it? Hang on. Dame Edna's. Are you happy to do this with me? There we go. And just remember, if you if you're not in the mood. It's not obligatory, you know. If you're not in the mood, or you're feeling a little bit vulnerable or overwhelmed or trapped. That was me yesterday. I felt a bit trapped. You know, first of all, this too shall pass. It will. And you don't have to do this. You can just sit and have a cup of tea, hang out with us. A lot of people just watch and then do it later by themselves in peace. You know, that works, doesn't it? Make sure you turn the artwork when you work. Do I want to do the outside line? Or thinking. Yes, I do. Right, here we go. Okay, yeah, you definitely do. Because the thing is, with this whole doodle thing, right, this won't be done until it's done. It's not over till it's over. It's like a lot of things. So at the moment, it still looks a bit ropey. But you wait when we add a little bit of shadow, we get our HB pencil out and we do some shading. It will look fab. It will. And don't worry about being perfect. That's not the object of the exercise, is it? That is not the object of this exercise. The object of this exercise is to just doodle something. It's not an exam. It's not a competition. It's just a doodle. And all we're going to doodle, is just a bit of copy paper. It's just a little bit of copy paper. There you go. And this is quite nice now because we've already penciled it. See, that to me is the bit where you've got to concentrate, is the penciling. But then even that isn't that harsh, because of course you can always rub it out if you're not happy. I remember somebody wrote that they'd rubbed a hole in their page, which I thought was highly amusing. There you go. That's looking good. Then we've got the veins as well. What am I on? Am I on the thinnest one? Yeah, 005. Might come back to that in a minute. Right, here we go. So let me get my eye in on this one. I'm going to do this now. Have you already done your inking? Have you? Right. There you go. On we go. Nice, isn't it? Don't forget to stretch your hand as well, you know. Don't forget to stretch your hand a little bit. Okay. I do like a windmill, don't you? Do you know, I had such a... Because, let me tell you a story, right? So my mum, you know, she's German. But my dad is a Londoner. So I'm somewhere in the middle, aren't I? And it's funny, sometimes it's like, because I spoke German to my mum and I spoke English to my dad, often I've misunderstood the English language, okay? It's just the way it is. Like, I'll give you an example. Say, there's a reason why I'm telling this story, because I had a right epiphany this morning. It was so funny. I haven't even told Dave this. Hang on, wrong glasses. So say, for example, a little while ago, a couple of years ago, not that long, I mean, not that long ago, my... oh, God, a cup of tea. I've got to do this. Hang on, let's have a cup of tea. Just stop for a minute. I found out, you know when you say Bob's your uncle? I'd always said Bob's your ankle. All right. And I don't know why I thought it was Bob's your ankle, because it's pretty obvious if you think it through that it's Bob's your uncle. And it was when somebody said, I said Bob's your ankle, and someone said as a response, and Fanny's your aunt. And I thought, why would Fanny be my aunt? Bob. And then it went ding dong, right? And I had that moment of clarity when I realised that Bob is not your ankle, he's your uncle, because Fanny's your aunt, right? And I remember thinking, how did I go through my life all these years and not realise that Bob's your uncle? Okay. So this morning, right? This is ridiculous. I've got to tell you though. Right. So, Dave was playing a song. I mean, this is what we do, right? He was playing, because it's the tulips and it's a windmill, yada, 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 right? So let me do the tulips. These are easy. They're easier. Number one. So he was playing this song through his iPad, and it was the one about the mouse, right? Dun, dun, dun. Hang on, how does it go? I saw a mouse where there on the stair, where on the stair, right there. Right, you ready? A little mouse with... I always thought it was clothes on, right? A little mouse with clothes on, ooh, I declare. Anyway, so I'm listening, and it had the subtitles, and then it said a little mouse with clogs on. I was speechless. And I said, did he have clogs on then? Dave looked at me as if I'd just grown a second head. He said, well, what do you think? And I didn't respond, right? I just said, I see. Now, the thing is, right, I said, play it again, Dave. just to reconfirm, right, that I've spent 61 years of my life thinking that the little mouse in the windmill in Amsterdam had clothes on, not clogs, right? And sure enough, yeah, a little mouse with clogs on. I blame my mum, right? Because as far as I was concerned, the mouse had clothes on. But the thing is, this is the best bit, right? It's like the Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt syndrome, yeah? When you listen to the song, there must have been a block in my head. Listen now, right? I'm not a very good singer, but listen. A little mouse with clothes on. Clogs on. See, it's a habit of a lifetime. And then it said, wait a minute. Where on the stair? Right there. A little mouse with clogs on. Ooh, I declare. Going clip, clippity, clop. Now, why didn't I make the connection between clip, clippity, clop and the clogs? 61 years it's taken me to figure this out. Amsterdam, tulips, windmills, clothes. I know. And so this morning, when Dave was playing that song to me, I had this moment of clarity that the mouse is wearing clogs. See, my world has changed now. My world is never going to be the same again. Because now, he's wearing clogs. Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah, there you go. And that, I think, has to do with my mum being German, right? Because she says things, right, which are hilarious sometimes. Like she says, and we've always said it, and then somebody corrected me, as you do. She always says, "Oh, what a plamava," right? So I spent at least the first 25 years of my life saying, "What a plamava," which, when you've got a German accent and you say, "What a plamava," you could probably get away with it. But when you speak like I do, with quite a southern London twang, right, and you say, "What a plamava," people look at you as if you lost the plot. What a plamava. There you go. How are your tulips? A little mouse with clogs on, ooh, I declare. There you go, he's got clogs on. Obviously he had clogs on. Ja. So ist das Leben. Right. How are your tulips coming? They're going to look so nice when we shade them as well, aren't they? Or colour them. Now, obviously, there's a lot of symbolism going on here as well. A lot of symbolism, guys and girls. So, for example, I did write it down. Let me tell you. Right, symbolism. Well, obviously, red tulips are true love. White tulips say sorry. We know that. Sympathy, right? Purple is royalty. We knew that too. So there's a lot of symbolism in the colours. But what I also remember, right, I read this up as well. This is interesting, right? If a windmill's, not paddles, Gray, sails, right, or the wings, do you remember? If they are in a certain way, if they're positioned in a certain way, it says, the position says it signifies a death or a wedding, you see. So like that might signify a wedding. If we've got any Dutch friends in the audience, maybe you could tell us, what if a windmill's sails are positioned in a certain way, what does that symbolise? Apparently a windmill does symbolise strength. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. Okay. And tulips, we said yesterday, they were the most expensive flowers. The most expensive flowers, and like 10 times what on average, a bunch of I mean, I'm going to get pedantic now. A bunch of tulips, or one tulip, was what an average man earned. It was 10 times what an average man earned in a year. Can you imagine trying to pay people in tulips? I've just given you a pay rise. Have a tulip. I'll give it a go. See how that goes. And tulips are the fourth biggest export out of Holland. And what do you think are the other three, the top three? Look at that beautiful pen. Josie Davison made that for me. Go on. What do you think are the top three exports out of Holland, Nederland? Go on, I'll give you a chance to think it through. I bet you said cheese, haven't you? Cheese, yes. What else you got? Gin. I remember being in a restaurant in Leiden and they had loads of different lovely gins. I'm not a drinker, I don't drink alcohol, but I remember they even had non-alcoholic gins. False friend though, that is, if you don't drink, because it tasted like the real deal. So we got cheese, gin, and what's the other one? God, these glasses. Savage. What's the other one, do you think? Herrings. Yeah. Herrings. I like herrings. I love herrings. Do you like herrings? Matthias and all that? Right. So we got down to the two tulips. Yeah, look, on an aside, look at this beautiful pen. Handmade. That's handmade by Josie. You know our friend who designs she creates those beautiful grids. This is her pen. Isn't that beautiful? I've been having a dialogue with Josie because she's designed some new ones, some diagonals, brilliant, and some other ones, and I think it's about time to fire up another set of beautiful. But look, it's even got my name in it. Look, Barbara. Isn't that fabulous? Yeah, amazing. Amazingly clever people out there. Now, I'm going to do my plait along here now, my cable. Did you find the cable difficult? Did you? I was all right with the cable. I thought this was, once you get your eye in and you go slowly, I think it's okay. But the trick is, 1, to get your eye in, and 2, to go slowly. There you go. That'll do. Yeah. That'll do. And then once I've done that, then I can put my stalks in and my stems, can't I? So put my stems in. So, how are you doing? You okay? Are you doodling along? Or are you watching? Are you hanging out with your coffee? It doesn't matter. The main thing is that you're a little bit entertained, a little bit distracted. It's rubbish what's going on at the moment. It is out there. But in here, be okay, you know. Just got to kind of keep your eye on the pen. Just keep your eye on the pen. And when you're focusing on this, what's lovely is that you're not worried. Just for an hour, while you're doing this, not thinking about other stuff, are you? They look all right, those tulips. That one looks a little bit like I don't know what it looks like, but it looks less like a tulip than I would have liked. But hey ho, in the big picture, they're not going to be going, oh, look, failed, rubbish tulip, bottom left. Anyway, I'll put another button over it. Do you know what's really like, this is, no, what shall I do? Shall I draw around it? I bet. Shall I give it a go? Yes. I think I will, you know. I'm going to draw around it and I'm going to put my thumb right there and I'm going to try and go round in one sweep because otherwise you see the join. Let's have a go. Oh, I hope this works. No, I've had to come up for air. Good enough. That'll do. You know what's ironic? This is really ironic. You know that we own Pergamon, okay? We bought Pergamon. And Pergamon was a Dutch company. Now it's obviously it's a UK-owned company, but just so you know, we left it in Holland. We left it there because we left all the manufacture and everything over there. I mean, I don't know how that's going to pan out for us with all the Brexit stuff, but that's the least of my worries at the moment. But we just decided that, you know, there's a manufacturing plant over there, and why dismantle that? You know, these people totally know what they're doing. So it was just a question of, and they're so good to work with. They're such lovely people, such lovely, you know, they really are class act. And it was interesting when I was over in, I tell you how I got to know Peter, so now the connection now, Peter's such a nice fella, a young man, very tall, about 6'6" he must be, can't miss him. And we were doing, we were attending the Anaheim, the CHA, which is a big annual trade show in California, in LA, and we were exhibiting the groovy system. That's what we were doing over there, And this really tall Dutch fella came up, and he was really excited to see our groovy system. And he said he was a distributor in Holland, and he would like to be our distributor for the groovy system. And I said, oh, that's good. You know, ironic that you have to go all the way to LA to pick up a Dutch distributor, but there you go. Such is life. That's what the CHA is all about. International. Right. So, anyway, we said that we would see him in Frankfurt. It was about a fortnight later, because that's how it works in January. It's all the January is usually CHA, and then Frankfurt, and then after the last one on the list is the NEC. Okay, so a couple of weeks later, bearing in mind we just had groovy then, we didn't. We went to visit him on his stand at Frankfurt. Tall fella. So off we went to see Peter. And bearing in mind, I didn't know him from Adam. I think that's right. I think his name's Adam. And so we went onto his stand, and in the corner, the first thing I saw was a great big Pergamon display. And I thought, brilliant, right? Because obviously, if you've got the groovy system, you want the needle tools, you want the scissors, you want all that jazz. And we were just getting to that point now. Let me have a think about this button. Yeah, I think I'm just going to, let me make sure I've got the right, have I got the, still doing the, I'm going to go thin on this one. 005. You all right? Am I talking too much? It's better than silence. It's better than silence. Anyway, this is fun. So I saw this great big display of Pergamon. And I said, brilliant. That means that we can buy from you, you see? Because we weren't really sure where to go, because it was early days at that point with groovy. So he said, of course you can. And he looked at me a little bit nonplussed. And I said, well, you know, that's marvellous. And then he said, well, I am Pergamon. And I was a little bit surprised. I said, what do you mean you are Pergamon? He said, I own Pergamon. I am the owner of the company. And I just happen to be the distributor for lots of other things. Okay, gotcha. Right, understand. Anyway, so we struck up a really good friendship. The relationship, Peter, just so you understand, Martha Ospina, she is a lady who was married to Tiemann, a Dutch fella. And those two people, they founded Pergamon back in, I don't know, in the 70s, right? And Peter is Tiemann's son. So there you go. And that's the connection. There's the connection. So anyway, we struck up a really good relationship with Peter. And we bought in from him, and he bought in from us. And it was a it was a really, really kind, sort of symbiotic, you know, it worked for him and it worked for us. It really did. And then over time, we got bigger and bigger with groovy, and he got bigger and bigger. He diversified into other things, you know, like he went into other things, less and less focused on Pergamon, because he had so much else to look at and concentrate on and deal with. And so one day he rang me up and he said, I have a proposition, I have a proposal. And that's when he asked me whether we would like to acquire or buy Pergamon. And I tell you what, I never ever, he said, you know, I think you could do a lot more with it than I ever will, because you are the designers and you're in the craft world. You know, he's a business. He's more business, you know, distribution. Buy it in, sell it on. Whereas we're more creatives, aren't we? And he meant it in the nicest possible way. And he just said, would you like to buy it? And so a couple of days later, Dave and I were on a plane to Amsterdam, and the deal was sealed before Christmas. It was the most, you know, when something's supposed to happen, it works really. It's just like the doors open before you even touch them, you know. And never in a million years would I ever, ever, ever have imagined that that would happen, that the owner of Pergamon would ring me up. But we really had a good relationship, you know, like really good, very good indeed. And so it was just such an easy transition. But what we did do was, getting back to where I was, we left the business, as in the manufacture of the tools, the injection moulding machines. We left all of that, all the moulds, everything over, all the packaging, all the assembly, all that work. We left it in Holland. We didn't dismantle it and bring it over to England. We didn't think that would be appropriate. And it's working really well. They're such good people to deal with. You know, in business, as a business person now, it's rare to find people in business that are so easygoing, fair, straight, honest. Oh, it's just lovely. It's really lovely. And, you know, and hardworking. Then, you know, they're just a pleasure to work with. Long may it continue. And Peter is still our distributor. He is our distributor in Pergamon, for Pergamon in Europe. You know, why would you change something? Why fix it if it ain't broke? And so we have a good connection. What I'm saying is we've got a good connection with Holland. We've got a business over there. We've got a factory over there. Think about that. I don't think about it often, but I like it. I like that connection. Yeah. Works well. It works well. Now, what am I doing with these leaves? How are you doing with your buttons? Are they working well? There you go. Nice. So now you know the rest of the story. Yeah. Nederland. Cool. So we've nearly done all our penning. See, I can ramble when we're penning, can't I? I can talk. As soon as we get to the houses, I've got to concentrate. How are you doing? Are you enjoying our trip to Holland? I love it. I love it. And, you know, the reality is, it's not far from us at all. It's not far from England, is it? Especially like that Harwich route to the Hook of Holland. It's easy. Rotterdam. What's your favourite Dutch cheese? Do you like Edam or Gouda? Loads of different ones, isn't there? Cool. Likey. I like this, don't you? And then I think along here, just do that. Actually, I might just stop right there. Jury's still out, you know, on that. I haven't made my mind up yet. Right. What's the time? 22. Time to get the houses in. Time to get the houses in. Right, come on. We've penned, done our tulips. Let's get one house in. When I was working on the houses this morning, early doors, I started, it's dead straightforward, but I realised, oh, those glasses. I realised the best way to handle the houses is to take 5 minutes out in the beginning to get lots of lines in place. Do a bit of measuring first, and then the windows slot in. And because when you look at the houses, oh, don't break them now, Gray. Got them all the way over from Leiden. Right, when you look at the houses, you can see the little windows. Focus on the windows. Just look at the windows, right? And you can see it's very linear, isn't it? Linear all the way down. So if you take a ruler and you start mapping out where the windows are going to be, you can cut across all 3 of them. I did the first one, and then it made the second and the third one easier. So let's have a look. Aren't they lovely? Get the candles out. Let's get the candles out. I might light them tomorrow. They're good though. Oh, hello. Right, and then what we'll do is we'll have a look. Let's have a look. Okay. Everybody happy? We doing all right? Doesn't that look nice? See, I like that kind of architectural, you know, that I do like that look where it looks like not finished. So you can see exactly. That's the one that I'm still working on, see? Hang on, that one. Now we're so close, you see, you can't see. It's this one, but it's all right. I'd rather shuffle around the ornament. Look, see, so there's the chimney. Then you've got the 3 windows there. See, got a door, but I've made a grid, and it's the grid that helps a lot. So, for example, this one is this one here. See, so you've got 3. It's easy once you get the grid in. So let's do the grid and that one. I'll tell you what we're going to do. First of all, we've got to decide. I'm going to put a picture of these 3. I'll take a photograph of these 3. Oh, hello. I'll take a picture of the 3 of them, okay? And I'll get Steve to put them, or Jim, to put them on the website, just so that you can look at the shapes of the houses. Yeah? Right, so if I take all these away now, maybe you could take a screenshot. Maybe you're good at this stuff. Right, so we've got these 3 houses. Let's put them on the black like that, so you can see them. Right, 1, 2, 3. Right, now you've got to decide which way round you want them. Do you want them that way round? Do you want to put that one in the middle like I did? Like that. See, now I'm actually liking that best. But then it's entirely up to you, okay? I think I'll stick to the plan. Why confuse myself? It's hard enough as it is, Gray. Right, that'll do. Right, so there you go. So we'll take a photograph of that. In fact, I'll do it now while we're standing here. Let me just take a picture. And then I'm going to put this, oh, not like that, hang on. Let's go in a bit closer. That's it. And I'll take that picture like that. And then I'll get that loaded for you. Look, see? Oh, the joys of technology. You've got to use what you've got, really, haven't you? And if you've got an iPhone, then why not use it? So I'll get that loaded up so that you've got the shape. But I mean, blimey, you could Google it. You do what you like, can't you? But this is where we're headed. So I need a blank one to go to, which is the one there. Okay. And then I need, for sure, I need my ruler and I need a pencil. We're back to penning again now. So no more stories, because I've got to concentrate. Right, HB. And what we've got now, all things being equal, you should have half a picture. Yeah? Half a picture. Now, the thing is, we have got a little bit of overlap. See? So if it's too narrow, you know, all you've got to do is move your line over a little bit, provided that you didn't ink in your border. You might be able to spread out a little bit. But if you want to work with what you've got, right, like mine is about just under about 8.5 centimetres, 9 centimetres. So I could stretch it out a little bit and make them all 3 centimetres. It's whatever it is, right? So I'm just going to go like that, and I'm going to put one there 3 and one there 6. Then I'm going up and I'm going to go in there like so, and I'm going to put 1 at 3 and 1 at 6. So now I've got my dots. So what I want to do, and I've made a line from my windmill. This is all about construction now for the last 10 minutes. So if you want to just stop and drink your tea and listen, you don't have to do it with me because you might get all stressed. And we've just had a right chill, lovely filling session. So this might be something that you just do afterwards, and you just pick up the instructions, you know, just rewind the last 10 minutes of the vid, and then that might be better. It's up to you though. Something to be said for both. So we're going to make the line there like so, and then there's a lot of turning goes on here, and then what we're going to do is make a line this way. That's that house, see? And then this one is that house. So now I've got my 3 houses. They're that small. That actually is that. See? That one, and that one. But we're not going to go right to the top. So what we'll do is we'll decide how big we want the houses to be. Let's go to this one and you'll see. So if I start at the base, see there's the line there. I'll take the depth of my ruler, which is 5 centimetres, and I'll make a line right across there. And that basically is going to be the main part of the house. So this is really just like so, and then we'll just go like that. See? So that now is the main bit of the house, and then whatever we put in above it is going to be the roofy bit. Look, whatever we put above it is going to be the roofy bit. So let's just focus. You get the first one in, everything else is easy. So if that's let's have a look. That's that line there. So I'd say that it's about 2.5 centimetres to the highest one. Yeah. So 2 centimetres. Let's add another 2 centimetres to this bit here. Once you get all your grid in, it's a piece of cake. This is the tallest one. I'm doing the tallest one inside. Right. So that I'll put another line there, and I'm using the grids on the ruler, see? So it doesn't matter how many lines you put in, because in a minute it will help you with the chimney, with this, with that. So now I've put in, if you like, I've put in that line there. So I've still got the little lip on the top. Do you want to have a closer look at what I've done? Let's have a look here. Now let's check this out. So we've just popped this line in here. So when we come in over the top, this is going to be over the top. So we'll start at the top of the house and we'll work our way down. Because we've always got a bit of wiggle room and the steps go down beyond. We'll put another line in. See, the whole idea with this, it's not like what we do in the, you know, look, you can go up and you can go down, but you can't go out unless you spread it out now and you've got all that wiggle room there. So you can move the whole thing over. If it were only this easy, look, no planning permission required. You just rub out a line, move it. Can you imagine trying that in this country? They've just built 4 houses opposite our house, up the road a little way. 4 houses, £1 million. If this is affordable housing, then I need to rethink the definition of affordable. They're about £1 million each, these houses. Okay, right, so let's just check what I'm doing here. And they've got no garden. That's what I'm saying. They're like mansions, serious mansions, and they've got no land. No land. I reckon the bloke in the first house can hear the bloke in the second house in the shaving. There you go. Just called it shaving. That was a euphemism. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make the top part. So we're working on this bit, and this bit. So you see, so this is the middle house. So we're going to just make a little arch there like that. Remember we say we always just levitate a bit. So until we're happy with where it's going to be. Right, and then this is going to be, it's going to come in like this. It's going to come in first, like that. See, it does. Look, I'm only copying it off here. This isn't divine inspiration. This is copying, right? So I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to come in like that. Oh, don't. Well, the good news is that you can rub it off, Gray. Right. Oh, look what I've done now. All right, I'll sort that out in a minute. So we're going to go like that. Then this bit here is coming in like that, and it's going to come down like so. There you go. See? Because then you've got that bit coming up behind. So that goes like that, and that goes like that, and then this little bit comes in like that behind. Look. See? Can you see that all right? Looks a bit ropey, but that's all right. That's the top bit. Then it comes around like that. Then it comes around like that. Then these little bits. When you're in Holland, when I was in Leiden, I've never been to Amsterdam. Got to say, I've never been to Amsterdam. I think, I'll tell you why, because I don't do drugs or drink. I didn't think it was a good place for me to go. There we are. And so I've always avoided Amsterdam. And Leiden, it's like Amsterdam, they say, but without the drugs. And I thought, well, there you go then. Leiden it is. Right, see how this is this there. You see? So the whole idea now, I found it easiest then to take the houses. Look, let me take my big one out of the way. See? And you start building. I did one at a time. So now, if you look at this house, what we're trying to do is we've got these long windows down the middle to the door, and then we've got the little windows on either side. So what we have to do is start making like dividers. So it's 3 centimetres, right? So if we do one there and one there, it's dead easy when you start to just break it down. If you look at that and you think, well, how am I going to get all those windows in the right place? Right, 1 centimetre into scale, 2 centimetre, 3 centimetre. So you block off those areas, then you go block, 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 right? And it's when you get that grid in place, it all starts to fall into place. So it's worth taking the time to just add your scaffold in first. See? And then once you've done that, like on this one here, I did my 3, and then I put my tall windows down the side. So now what we've got to do is work out if we've got how many floors. We've got a door, then we've got 2. See? This is why I'm going to put this photograph on the website for you. You can find it at claritystamp.com. You're going to find it at claritystamp.com. Facebook page. I'll get Jim to load it onto this page here. Clarity Stamp Facebook, right? And then I'll blog it as well. And then you can find it at barbaragrayblog.com as well. Excuse me. So I'll tell you what, when I blog it, I'll put dimensions in as well. The thing is, you see, I don't know how big your area is, what your building plot is, do I? But what I'm saying is, you break it into 3, then you break each house into 3. See? So you've got 3 centimetres, 3 centimetres, 3 centimetres. Then you've got 1 centimetre, 1 centimetre, 1 centimetre. Then you've got 1, 2, 3 floors from the bottom. So you're going to have to work it out. If we've got 5, so I could do, okay, so I could do 1.5, 1.5 and 1.5. That's three floors, isn't it? See? And then I've still got enough room to put the top floor in, the attic. Oh, who lives in the loft, we ask. Right, see, so you're going to go, yeah, so you just work out what your building plot is. But what I'm recommending is that you put your grid in before you start your windows. Well, you would, wouldn't you? Put all your lines in first and then work out, right, so those are your spaces now that you've allocated for these areas, you see? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now you've got to think, right, if I'm going to put the door in, I want to put a little aperture over the top. Stop drawing all over you. Artwork, Barbara. Right? Then you can just work it out, just work it down, and you can see here, look, I'm a little bit off-piste at the top. It's a little bit of a wonk on this one, so I might have to adjust that a little bit as well. But that's the bottom line, is that you're going to build a grid. See what I've done already on this one? It's the same thing, except on this one I've taken it to the next step and I've made gaps in between as well. So that's your homework. I know. How dare she? It's not hard. It's just loads of lines. You get to be an architect today. That's lovely. You get to decide whether you've got 3 floors, whether the door's off to the left, whether the door's in the centre. These are just ideas. You don't have to replicate this. I just think these are lovely, and this is a very sort of typical kind of shape. But you can Google it. You can look up Dutch houses. You can look up Hamburg houses. They look like that too. There's in Belgium, lots of towns in Belgium. I've got Ghent, for example. They all have this architecture as well. And there's a lot of this influence in our country too, isn't there? So you get to be an architect today. And what I want you to do is pencil. You don't have to pen it unless you're feeling confident, yeah? But then we could pen it together tomorrow, couldn't we? Yeah, let's pen it together tomorrow, because that's the downtime, isn't it? So get your row houses in, get your beautiful row houses in, decide how many windows you want, and then tomorrow we'll pen them, and then we'll have a look at the clogs. The little mouse with clogs on. There you go. Life will never be the same for me. Now I know that. It's a funny old world, isn't it? So there you go. Confessions of a half German, half English chick. Yeah. I bet you've got stories like that too, where you used to sing along to a song and then you find out that the words you've been singing are like way off. They've got nothing to do with the lyrics. It is funny, isn't it? Listen, have a smashing day. Don't forget to like, follow and share. If you want to join up to the newsletter so that you get notified every time that we put a SHAC up, or we send out a PDF, the newsletter is a good way to stay in touch with the SHAC. Other than that, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock with you. Thank you so much, Steve, for helping us out today. And yeah, go build some houses in Holland. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.